So wait a minute, you mean to tell me there's extra stuff that I need to buy after I've already spent my hard-earned money on the M1 Mac Mini? Yes, but lucky for you, I got a whole list of best accessories that you guys need to pick up for the M1 Mac Mini. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So it's been about 2 months now since I copped the M1 Mac Mini. Wow, low pro, fresh in the aisles, 16 to 8 gigabytes. Tell me what's your style? I'm here to tell you if it's good. If it's not, then it's not worthwhile. Let's see, hold up, performance is great. Apple chips stand up right now. Let's go, let's go. No overheating, got grace the jigs up. Best desktop, I own the glow up. Let's get into this video and complete our 2-month doc order routine checkup. I'm back with these bars, shining through the shadows. Hit that like button and subscribe right now while I spitball loud to your stereo. What up, y'all? Welcome back. CKid here, man, and let's talk M1 Mac Mini, best accessories and everything that you guys need to pick up, and some of the things that I personally use with my M1 Mac Mini that I highly recommend that you guys pick up for your M1 Mac Minis. All right, so the first item that we got up here is the Logitech MX Keys. Now, this is the keyboard that I personally use for all of my computing needs and anything that I'm gonna need. I love this keyboard right here, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. So mainly the reason why I picked this up is simply because it allows me to be able to connect up to 3 different machines on a single keyboard. So I have my M1 Mac Mini here, and then I also have my laptop that I also use as well. So whenever I have my laptop docked, then I can easily just switch to 2, and just like that, I can now use this keyboard with that specific machine. I just like this keyboard because it's backlit, it's wireless, the battery on it lasts literally freaking forever, and you also get access to a lot of the different Apple features, like being able to change your music, your brightness settings, you can access your apps panel, and just a bunch of different things that you can do on this keyboard. Plus, it's a 10-key keyboard as well, which is also a bonus for me as well. So yes, I highly recommend you guys check out the Logitech MX Keys keyboard. All right, so now that you got your keyboard, the next thing you guys are gonna need is a mouse. So this here is the Logitech MX Master 3. This is the one that I personally first got in on because I was that guy that had the Apple mouse, and I was like, oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, until my guy CJ and my guy Terry actually told me, yo, you need to pick up this mouse. It allows you guys, again, just like this keyboard, it allows you guys to be able to connect up to 3 different machines. So I can easily, just like with the keyboard, I just tap on it, press the 1, the 2, the 3, and it'll easily swap between the different machines that I have paired up to this. But overall, man, I love this, man, because it allows you guys to be able to program features right from the actual mouse. So I can have this here, this button here to be programmed for something else. I can have this to be able to control like my timeline whenever I'm scrolling, or if I'm in a web browser, I can actually just scroll over to different tabs that I may have open instead of having to physically go to that tab and actually click on it. So this mouse here is very versatile, and I highly recommend that you guys pick this mouse up, and it's just gonna add to your setup and just make it 10 times better. So the next item I gotta show you guys, I actually don't have it here because I already got it docked up here, and I don't really want to take all of that apart, but I'll throw up some B-roll so you guys can see it. But the next item is actually a USB enclosure that connects right onto the back of the M1 Mac Mini that also allows you guys to expand the storage. So let me tell you what that means. So basically, when I go out here and I actually bought my M1 Mac Mini, the first thing that I did, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go the 8GB RAM route, and then I'm also gonna go the 256 gig storage route, because I wanted to be able to get the entry level, test it out, see how good it is without spending a whole lot of money, because as you guys know, Apple just charges a whole lot of money when it comes to actually upgrading the storage. So what I recommend you guys do, pick up the item that I have right up here on the screen for you guys to check out. And what it's gonna allow you guys is to be able to, you can actually buy an external SSD, plug that right into it, and it's gonna be way cheaper than buying the storage from Apple. And just like that, you've upgraded and expanded your storage. And I actually have a 2TB version on the inside of mine that I'm actually using and plugged right into this. I guess it expands it to 2.25 terabytes worth of storage that I have on my M1 Mac Mini. Highly recommend you guys check that out. Also, you also get ports, like you get a couple USB-A ports, you get a couple Thunderbolt ports, and then you also get access to a SD card reader as well that is located right on the front of it. So that way you're gonna be able to, for myself, if you're a creator, be able to pull off footage off of your camera or whatever you guys may be shooting and then you can load it right onto your machine. Now, the next item that I have for you guys that I highly recommend if you guys are looking for like storage options for your machine, I highly recommend you guys check out these T5 as well as the T7 SSD external drives. Now, I use these for like all of my editing. So any files or anything that I'm transferring to be able to work on using this machine, I never store any of my files or any music or anything like that on my actual physical machine, because over time what's going to happen is actually going to lower the speed and performance of your machine over time, which is why I recommend you guys get something like the Samsung T5 that I have right here in my hands for you guys to be able to check out. And I literally edit everything, every single video you guys have seen on the channel literally are edited right off of these SSDs by Samsung. And one thing that I like about them is that they're super small. They're as small as a credit card as far as the height wise. They're not inexpensive, but I will say they are 100% worth it, because it also is great for you guys if you guys want to be able to travel and you want to take something really light with you to still be able to have about 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes in your pocket at this size of a SSD. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, CKid, I don't necessarily want an SSD. Well, you can still go the traditional route. And now this is a one that I personally use by LaCie. And I think it's about 1 terabyte that's on here as well. So I mainly use this to actually back up my machine. So I actually have my time machine is all backed up on here. So I know this machine here is only 256 gigs of storage. So I actually have a 1 terabyte, which is way more than enough to be able to time machine and back up this machine. So literally this is what I use this for. Highly recommend you guys get something like this to be able to back up your machine. And this is by LaCie, and this is very durable, rugged, and yeah, haven't had any issues with it at all. As well as you can use a Type-C connector to be able to plug right into it. Works like a charm. All right, so kind of staying on storage here a little bit, or connectivity and ports and different things like that. I want to introduce to you guys the CalDigit TS3 Pro. Highly recommend you guys pick this up no matter what Apple machine you guys have, whether it's the M1 Mac Mini, whether it's a MacBook Pro or anything like that, MacBook Air. I highly recommend this little gadget right here because it is well worth the money. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's kind of pricey, but again, this is not like a budget edition, but I'm just showing you guys some of the things that I personally use myself. So a couple things you guys are gonna get and why this is worth it, because you get an SD card reader, you also get a headphone jack port, you get a microphone port, you get a USB-C port as well as a USB-A port here on the front. And then on the back, you get 4 additional USB-A ports to be able to plug in different things. Then you also get 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, which is clutch. Then you also get a display port to be able to output to another monitor. Honestly, the monitor that I have behind me, one is actually plugged in using this display port, and then the other one is plugged in right into the Mac Mini using the HDMI port. So I do use this port as well. And then you also have an optical port for audio, and then you also have a gigabit Ethernet port if you guys want to use that, but most likely you won't use it because the Mac Mini has one built in. But all in all, man, highly recommend you guys check out the CalDigit TS3 Plus. I know it's a little bit pricey, but I'm telling you guys, it is 100% worth it. I personally own 2 of these. I use one for my gaming station, and then I also use one for my main editing workstation that you guys are seeing behind me. So CalDigit TS3 Plus, definitely the way. Now, kind of staying on that, and let's say you guys don't want to necessarily spend the money on this, but you also want the option to be able to still be able to have additional ports and different things like that. I highly recommend the Toto USB-C drive. You also get a SD card reader here. You also get a HDMI port. You also get a power delivery port here, which is super clutch. So you can still be able to power other things outside of this being plugged right in. Then you also get 2 USB-A 3.0 ports and 1 USB-A 2.0 port, and then you get a LAN gigabit Ethernet speed port here, which is super clutch. So you still get a lot of the different things here. I mainly use this one for me to be able to take on the go because I don't want to necessarily lug around this one, and this one is more like stationary in the home, whereas this one here is one that I kind of take with me on the go when I'm traveling and different things like that. So highly recommend both of these in 2 different scenarios and situations, and I will have links for both of these down in the description section below. So the next thing that I know you guys are going to need, once you've gotten all of that out of the way, you guys are going to need monitors. So the 2 monitors that you guys are seeing right there behind me are from LG. I can't necessarily remember the model, but I will put it somewhere here on the screen for you guys to know what model it is. But I highly recommend these models. These are LG 34-inch ultra wide monitors. Now, before, I didn't used to be an ultra wide type of guy. I used to just get the regular 16:9 monitors, which are great. I don't see anything wrong with those. But once I got introduced to ultra wide and realized how much space you get on the screen, I had one and then I was like, you know what? Why not get two if I can get two? So that's what I did. So I actually own 3 of those screens. I have 2 that's behind me that you guys see in all of the videos. Then I also have another one over here, which is what I actually have my PlayStation hooked up to, and I game off of that on that machine. So yes, highly recommend those monitors, but I will also link down in the description section below for a normal 16:9 monitor if you guys are not interested in ultra wide monitors. But if you are, these are the ones to get for sure. Now, y'all know I couldn't leave this video without talking about some audio. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, the one that I have been using the most with my M1 Mac Mini, none other than the AirPods Max. The AirPods Max, y'all, is definitely something that I think is a must buy. Now, I understand that these bad boys are pricey. They are coming in at $550, but when I tell you guys the sound quality, to me, it is very much worth it. As well as just being in the connectivity within the entire ecosystem of Apple, it works really well as far as connecting up to this machine. Now, I will say, if you guys are heavily integrated into the Apple ecosystem like I am, like I have an M1 Mac Mini, I have my laptop, I have an iPad, I also have my iPhone, I have my Apple Watch, which we're gonna get to this in a second. Once you have too many things within the Apple ecosystem, you'll find yourself actually finding it hard to actually connect to the machine that you wanted to connect to, because sometimes it does get confused. But all in all, when it comes to listening to YouTube videos, or even when I'm editing my videos, with these even connecting wirelessly to my M1 Mac Mini, guys, the latency is extremely low on that. Literally, this video you guys are watching right now is edited using these for me to be able to monitor my audio, just to make sure I'm not peaking and different things like that. So highly recommend these right here. It has a ton of features. I did a whole video discussing these, but these are a great pair of headphones if you guys already own the M1 Mac Mini, if you're looking for a headset to be able to pair well with your M1 Mac Mini. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, CKid, look, I don't necessarily want to have like over-the-ear headphones. Well, check it out. I got you covered there as well. I have here the Apple AirPods Pro. Highly recommend these. These also are a must buy as well. If you guys want something to be able to use on your machine, but you also want to have it to where you guys can take it on the go. If you want to go for walks or bike rides or whatever, you can also take these on the go, and they're a little bit more, you know, they're a little smaller than taking these out in public or whatnot. Especially if you want, you want to keep these more cleaner to the point where you don't want to mess these up. Then I get it, I understand it. But the AirPods Pro really have a lot of the same features that you get on here. You get the active noise cancellation. You also get spatial audio, which is a really dope feature. If you haven't tried that out, highly recommend you check that out. And then you also get things like transparency mode, is where you can hear the outside world around you. But all in all, if you guys are in the Apple ecosystem, I highly recommend you guys take a look at the AirPods Pro. Much smaller, easy to take on the go, and they work really well. Now, even with all of that, you're probably saying to yourself, well, CKid, I don't necessarily want anything in my ear. I don't want nothing over my ear. Well, I got a fix for you too. Now, the speakers that I have here behind me, guys, are the Edifier E25s. Now, whenever I'm playing back my raps or whatever that I'm doing here on the channel, the one that you guys heard in the intro of this video, then what I personally do is I'll take those and I'll actually play my music through those speakers, so that way I can hear how it actually sounds before you guys hear, just to make sure the audio is sounding good, the music is sounding right, the levels are right. I'll play it out loud so that way I can hear it that way. Highly recommend you guys check out the Edifier E25 speakers. They are a great pair of desktop speakers. Now, the next piece is a very small piece, but it has a very effective feature that I love, and that is the Apple Watch Series 6. Now, this feature here is not necessarily tied to the Apple Watch Series 6. It'll also work on the previous Apple Watches as well. But one of the features that I love about this watch is the ability to be able to unlock my M1 Mac Mini with just having my Apple Watch unlocked. So any time of the day, if I lock my machine and I come back to my machine wearing my Apple Watch that is already unlocked and authenticated, then all I have to do is just be close and near my M1 Mac Mini, and it will go ahead and unlock my machine. And I'm telling you guys now, y'all, that is so clutch, because how many times have you guys have gone to your computer and then you got to type in your password and that takes a little while, but the fact that I can just walk up to my machine and it just automatically unlocks it when I'm wearing my Apple Watch, I'm telling you, it's the little things like that that makes Apple just a really dope brand and a really dope ecosystem. So all in all, man, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys found something in this video that you guys will be able to use. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. So it's been about 2 months now since I caught the M1 Mac Mini. Wow, low pro, fresh in the house, 16 to 8 gigabytes. Tell me what's your style. I'm here to tell you if it's good. If it's not, then it's not.